Hey, it's Jeremiah with the Christian Men's Illustrated Podcast, coming at you today with a little product review, if you will, of the Tascam TH-02 headphones. These are the headphones we're now using exclusively in the Christian Men's Illustrated Podcast. So I'm always looking for good, keep those words in mind, good to really good, cheap stuff, right? I'm not the richest podcaster in the world, haven't signed a $200 million deal like one Joe Rogan. So I'm always trying to find gear that is good and, good to really good for a cheap price. So these headphones are about $20, and we're going to unbox one right now. I currently have them on my head, so you can see that. And I also have a little side cam, up over this way that you can see me unboxing. So let's go ahead and unbox these Tascam TH-02 headphones. And this is a lot harder to do live than you think. Okay, there we go. All right, so the reason I thought about not doing an unboxing because it's a really boring box. There's nothing in there except some instructions and the headphones. So there we go. So it's not really a very awesome unboxing. They are covered really well with some plasticky-ness. So there you go. There's nothing really special about the box. So I'm sure that's why they saved some money there on the headphones, those kind of things. So I'm just trying to get this plastic protection off there and just do a little walkthrough review with you guys. Again, this is live, so not doing a bunch of super editing on this bad boy. So there we go. Pretty simple. You can get these on Amazon or just Google it. But like I said, they're usually in the $20 range. So this is the best headphones that I can find for $20 for your podcast, for your studio recording. I'm just going to unbox everything, just get it unwrapped, and then I'll talk about it very briefly here on the Christian Men's Illustrated Podcast. So I'm going to be doing these throughout on our YouTube page, just different reviews of gear, because I always encourage people to start your own podcast, and I love to help people in that endeavor. All right, so here they are, the Tascam TH-02 headphones. They don't look super amazing, but they don't look dorky either, so I do like that. The fit on my head is very good. I prefer the fit where it's not totally locked in. You got movement there as far as the head is concerned. You have the headphones here, which can these aren't locked in place. You'll get some headphones where those are locked in place, and I don't like that. Okay. I do like the closed ears as opposed to some of the open air ears, because that kind of brings in sound, contains it nicely in your ears. Okay. Here's the big deal for me is when it comes to these cheap headphones is a lot of times you will get a really cheap cord going from, your input output. This is actually a fairly decent cord. It's got some thickness to it, so I'm not too worried about jacking it up. And then it is really long as well. I think it's about 6 foot or so. So I do like that. I've had cheap headphones that I've tried to use for my podcast, for my studio, that number one, the cord is just way too short. And then it's really flimsy. And I'm like, man, that's going to break really easy. That's only going to last me a few months. So the fit is good. The flexibility of the fit, these move back and forth, side to side, up and down. Then you can move them that way. You have a really long cord. That is thick and fairly good quality. I would just say the sound is good on these. They do lack in the low end a little bit. They're more mid-level type sounding. The high end isn't great as well. So if you are trying to do some serious recording in terms of music, I would not recommend these particular headphones. But if you're for a standard podcast, they look good, they feel good, they sound good, they have the longer cord, they have everything that you need for a basic podcast setup. So when it comes to all this kind of stuff, you just got to experiment. And I know my wife hates that. She's like, you have 20 microphones and you have all this stuff. Listen, I say, start off on the cheaper end, and then, then watch some reviews and bump up to other stuff. So a lot of people, like a microphone. This is a $100 microphone. I didn't start off with this. I started off with a $20, $30 condenser mic, which wasn't too bad, actually a Tonar mic. Then I moved up to this bad boy. So I think a danger that a lot of us makes, we try to get super good gear right away, and you don't need to. There's good gear that is cheap, okay? And you don't want to go too cheap, and some of the cheap gear sounds like garbage, but I will give a thumbs up and I will give a recommendation to these Tascam TH-02 headphones. And I encourage you, if you're getting into podcasting, specifically podcasting, again, if you're going to record music as a professional or even entry level, I might get a little bit better headphones so you can really hear the distinction of your music from bass to treble, all in between. But as far as a basic good starter podcast headphone, I recommend these. They're only $20. I've had a couple friends that have started podcasts. I'm like, just go ahead and start off with these. Recommended some other gear. So there you go, guys. My first podcasting product review for the Christian Men's Illustrated. I'll put the link there below. I'm not signed up to get money from anyone, so it doesn't matter if you buy it from there or not. This is the Christian Men's Illustrated podcast. I'm going to be bringing you more gear reviews throughout our time together so you guys can know what we use and what I think of certain products. Talk to you next time.